Hello everyone again. Well, welcome to the next tutorial on Java. And we are just going to continue where we left off. And I'm sorry for my voice, I am a little bad from my voice. I can't speak very loud, so I apologize for that. But anyways, let's start by adding one thing that I forget in the last game, in the last tutorial I mean, and that is in the start game method. We need to set the running variable to true. So do that, and now we are going to have three methods, and all those methods has to do with game rendering. So let's add the methods game update, game render, and paint screen. And these two methods, the game render and the paint screen method, will actually be our render system. So let's just start with the simple one, which is the game update, that I'm not going to work with like now, because I will work with it later, but we need to create it. So let's create it by writing private void game update, and this is a very simple one. All you need to do is do a if statement. So if it's running and the game it's different than new, and the game, if you remember, it's our thread variable. So if this is true, we can update the game in some ways. But before we jump in the next methods, let's create two variables, the double buffer variables. And those variables are a private image, and let's call it double buffer image. And the other one is a private graphics double buffer graphics. Well, now that that is done, let's jump to the game render, and let's start by creating it. Very simple, private void game render. I'm sorry. And what we going to check here is if the double buffer image it's equals to new, we can create that image. And to do that, just write double buffer image equals create image, and the image we are going to create, the parameters that the create image method takes are the width and the height. I think I messed up here. Yes. So the double buffer image gets an image with the width, which is 500, and the height, which is 400. And we can check again. So if the double buffer image steals null, so if after we created the image it steals null, that means we have some problems. So we need to system.error, because that's an error, and we need to print line double buffer image steal null, and we can add like error. I don't know, let's hope this don't happen. So this, I believe this won't happen. It might happen, that's why I have here this statement. And we need to return here, I forgot. What this return means is if it reaches here, this method stops and it won't continue the code. Now, if the image is other than null, we can add an else statement. So if it isn't null, what we need to do is give the graphics that image. So double buffer graphics is going to be equals to our double buffer image dot get graphics. So the graphics will have the double buffer graphics will have the graphics from the image that we just created. And now let's jump to the last method, which is the private void paint screen. And because I don't want this method to take a parameter, we need to create here a variable, which is a graphics g. So the g is our variable, our graphics variable. Now let's add a try statement, and what that is try. It's going to try the thing that is under the brackets, and it's going to look for errors. So we can add catch in the end, and if it catches an error, exception e. If it catches an error, we can just system dot out dot print line that e dot stack set stack. Oh, not. We can just print the e. Well, now what are we going to test inside the try statement? We're going to test this. The g will get this dot get graphics. So the g will have the graphics that are in the screen, and we need to check here if the double buffer image it's different than null. Different than null, and the g, which is our graphics, is as well different than null. We can execute the code, which is g.draw image, and this takes 4 parameters. The first one is, oh, that's a d, not a g. G.draw image, and I don't need all those arguments, I just need 4. So the first one is our double buffer image. The second one is the x coordinate, which I wanted to start at 0, which is the upper corner, and the other one is the y, which I want to start at 0 as well, which is the upper corner as well. And the last one is the image observer, which I want to be null. So after that, all we need to write is after the if is a g.dispose, so it can get rid of the memory that is used by that, so we can use it again. So now that we come here, let's test this. And what are we going to do to test it? Just go here under the game render, and after this just write double buffer graphics dot set color dot white, so we can clear the screen. So let me add here a comment: clear the screen. So it goes to white, then the double buffer graphics dot fill rect, so it can clear the screen, and this takes this variable, and this takes the height variable, and then we can draw the double buffer graphics. Now we just need to create a method which is a public void draw, and this takes a parameter graphics. And here we can draw this in something in the screen. So first of all, let's set a color. That means g dot set color, and let's set like a, I don't know, maybe a blue. Can I have a blue, please? Blue. And then we can, I don't know, g dot draw string. Let's draw something like hello world at 100 50-50. Why not? So if we run this, we will have hello world. Very simple. You can now play with this around, like g dot, let's say, draw a rectangle at x 50, maybe 40, and y 55, with the width of 60 and the height of 5, and you just get a outlined rectangle. If we increase this value to like 80, I don't know, it will get bigger. Well, you can play around with this. Draw rect, if we do a fill rect, and let's change it to 3, you'll get a filled rectangle like all the way from there to there. Let's make it 85, I don't know, just so you guys can see. Well, that's our rectangle and that's our string. Let me see the time here. Well, 12 minutes. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. It was I'm kind of bad of my voice today. I hope it will get better for future tutorials. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. One more thing, a quick thing before we go. I just made a YouTube and a Twitter for WorldIntel because we reached 200 subscribers. So if you guys want to like me on Facebook or maybe follow me on Twitter, links are in the description. And until the next episode, guys, peace out.